Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Big welcome to all the new folks that have joined recently. I think my last video sort of hit the algorithm just right, popped off. So yeah, welcome to all the new folks here. Enjoy your stay. This is it. Yep, this is the show. So yeah, appreciate you guys being here. Just over 600 subscribers, which is mind-blowing to me. I barely talk to 6 people on a day-to-day basis, so having 600 people, that is quite something. So yeah, appreciate you guys being here, and if you're from that video and you're watching this one, my most recent video, appreciate you sticking around and coming back for seconds. We got plenty of books to talk about today. Finished a book, made great progress on another one, and I'm currently starting 2 more. So let's just dive right into it. First things first, you guys are probably thinking, finally he finished that book. Independent People by Haldor Loxness. This was sort of the book that kicked off my last video in terms of the books that consumed me. Still remains the only book I've ever tabbed. And yeah, it was very, very, very good. I think I rated it 4.5 stars. Is that too low? I don't know. I don't know. Let me back up. The first 150 pages of this book were incredible. The whole book was awesome. It was, like I said, one of the best books I've ever read. Maybe top 3 books I've ever read. But for some reason, I found myself picking it up less and less. And I can't decide if it's sort of that procrastination effect coming into play of, hey, I don't want to, I'm loving this book so much, I don't want it to end, so I don't want to pick it up and sort of voraciously read it how I was during the first half of it, or what it was. But I did find myself reading it slower as I progressed through it. Did that detract from the reading experience? Maybe. That's maybe why I docked it 0.5 star. But that might just be user error. I truly believe if I read this book like any other book I normally read over the span of, a normal time frame, 2 weeks instead of 4.5 or 5, then this by far would have been a 5-star read through and through. Top 3 books I've ever read, probably best book I've read this year. It is still all those things, but yeah, I think just due to my own user error, that's sort of why I rated it that, but still so good. Highly underrated. I think this book only has like 3,000 reviews on Goodreads, and it's his most popular book. I'll give you a brief sort of synopsis about this book, written by Icelandic author Haldor Loxness, translated into English by, do they have the translators in here? Surely they do. Yeah, by J.A. Thompson. So, written by Loxness, translated by Thompson in the 1950s. This was the book that won Loxness his Nobel Prize in Literature, and for good reason. This sort of has everything that I want in a book. Let me back up. That is not the reason why I won a Nobel Prize, is because Sam liked it so much. I just happen to like many aspects of this book. And what are some of those aspects? I think it's sort of just a feel-good story. We follow this sort of curmudgeon of a man, for rightfully so. He is sort of this way, bought his way out of basically slavery in his early 20s, and was set to live, or his entire life's mission was to just live an independent life. And sort of finding out what that meant to him. He had been working for people for his entire life. That was all he had ever known. before buying his freedom. And now his main life mission was to just be an independent person by whatever definition he came up with. And there are many beautiful definitions of what it is like to be an independent person throughout this book, from various characters' points of view. It's some of the things that I've tabbed as well. But yeah, it is a character study of this main character named Bjartur. And he sort of goes throughout life. He's a sheep farmer, so you can imagine the plot is not too enthralling in terms of that regard, but the introspective elements of it and the various point of views that we get, whether it be from the main character's mother who is living with him on this sort of estate, or one of his 3 children that he ends up having, one of his 2 wives. We sort of get in their head a little bit, and learn what it's like to live with our main character, how that's shaped their mind and their version of what it means to be an independent person. And yeah, towards the middle, or maybe towards the second half, the second act of this book, it shifts, and now his kid, this isn't really a spoiler or anything it says on the back, but it shifts, and now his kids are a little bit more grown up, and they are grappling with independence and wanting that for themselves, and what does that look like to them, and how does our main character Bjartur react to that, as he has sort of obviously taken care of his kids, and they've never known anything outside of this farm they've lived on. He's never known them outside of working for him, essentially, and his mind grappling with the realization that, hey, maybe their definition of independence isn't living with me. Maybe it's something else. And that was just sort of a beautiful way to frame the different characters and the various conflicts that come because of that. It was good. The ending of the book, I'm glad it was a happy ending. Sort of touching in a couple of ways, but yeah, just a solid book through and through. A bit long, about 500 pages. That's okay. I don't really care about the length of the book, but it was a very, very good book. I've never seen anyone read this on BookTube. Granted, I'm not really the biggest BookTube consumer, I guess. I don't really sit and watch people read books. I watch sort of book reviews about books that I'm interested in, maybe things like that, but I had never seen anyone read this book before, and so I was happy to pick it up and read it, and hopefully I've put someone on to this sort of hidden gem of a book. I have 4 of his other books, just because this one was so good. I had high hopes, and I bought them all in the same stunning vintage edition. Yeah, finally done with Independent People. Very, very good. I'm debating whether or not making like a separate video on it, but I might just leave it at that. Definitely check it out. 5 stars from me. I would have to sort of revise and say 5 stars all around. Now, sorry, I went out of frame there. I guess I'm new to this whole thing still. My next book, been slowly reading, or rather listening to the Harry Potter series. Again, just while I'm on walks, or maybe there's some downtime at work or what have you, and so I've managed to get my way all the way to the 5th book, about halfway through this. I'm flying through it because it is my favorite of the series. I love, this is sort of when the politics come in, and granted it is a kid's book, but I don't know, I enjoy this series. I think this is my 3rd time reading it in my life, and so I'm enjoying sort of knowing the plot twists and mysteries and turns, and seeing the foreshadowing that is interlaid throughout. And yeah, just liking this book a lot. I mean, not really much to say. It's Harry Potter, for Christ's sake. Yeah, enjoying this as my audio book listen to currently. I still obviously got book 6 and 7, so still a ways to away. Maybe I'll finish them by the end of the year, probably. We'll see. But yeah, that's the 2nd book I'm working on, and starting 2 new books now. Different. Both of them are rather different. If you saw one of my recent, I think my last weekly reading recap when I talked about the chess books, or whenever that was, wanted to pick up The Queen's Gambit. Did not know this was a book. I knew it was a TV show. I knew it was an opening in chess, but I didn't know it was a book. So I wanted to pick it up. It's a short book, 250 pages or so. So nice little palate cleanser, I guess, for my longer reads. But yeah, I mean, the front of the book sort of says it best. It says, The Queen's Gambit is sheer entertainment. It is a book I reread every few years for the pure pleasure and the skill of it. Enough said. Like I said, don't really know much about it. I have taken an interest in chess as of recently, so I bought a couple of books, novel, sort of maybe, novels, history sort of books, reference books, and then a couple of puzzle books as well. And yeah, this is the one chess novel that I know of, and excited to dig into it. Haven't started reading this. I also haven't started reading this next book. I actually just brought this back from my parents' house today and figured now would be a good time to read it. I read some of it in school, maybe piecing through bits and pieces of it when I want to. This is gonna sound super like finance bro pretentious, but the title of it at least, yeah, like I said, I just sort of want to refresh on some of these topics, but it's called The Quiet Millionaire. Eliminate financial stress and accumulate wealth for a lifetime of security and independence. Read this in school a little bit, or sort of chapters of it for my degree in finance, and sort of just want to revisit it and maybe glance over some of the things I previously read and more deeply dive into other topics of it. This sort of I just enjoy personal finance and my own personal journey through it. Like I said, I have a degree in finance and things of that nature. I'm young, so I don't know, I guess whatever, you'll think of that as you will, but I want to sort of set myself up for success the best I can. Not really thinking about it like too much in terms of like, I'm not gonna like quit my job and start day trading or put all this money into Bitcoin. I want to be sensible and reasonable, but I'm just looking to, I don't know, maybe tips and tricks in terms of estate planning when I'm young, or if I'm looking to buy a house in the near future, what does that look like? What are some things I should keep in mind? Obviously, I've never bought a house before, so maybe there are some tips and tricks into here, and just looking to broaden my horizons in terms of just experiences that I've yet to have. But maybe someone has some good life advice written in here for me. So yeah, we'll see what this is about. Like I said, I probably won't just like read this cover to cover like it's the best novel since sliced bread, but will definitely be a reference to maybe things I have questions on in the future. We'll have it going on in the background, that sort of a thing. That is it in terms of books. Like I said, my most recent video sort of popped off, so I appreciate you being here. If you are from that video, I guess, what else is going on? General life updates. Neck is doing better from my surgery. Maybe I stand corrected. It is bleeding right now. That's okay. I hope YouTube didn't see anything. So maybe neck is not doing better. We'll go figure that out here now. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh well, it was on the mend, but maybe it's not. Oh well, I'm ready for it to be over, but getting better slowly, day in and day out, back to typical routine and activities of weight training and things of that nature. So I'm excited to build that back up, good stuff all around. What else is there? Nothing, I don't think. I think that'll about do it for this video. Like I said, reading some good books, finished a good one, Independent People. Check it out. if you haven't read it already. I guess this is my weekend books right here, big chunk and stack of them here. That's a bit better. Quite the variety, I will say as well. Oh well, can't keep them down. But I digress. I'm rambling as these videos typically end up. Oh well, appreciate you being here up until this point. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Like I said, this channel is growing pretty fast and helps me out a ton. I appreciate you being here and all that stuff. Like I said, it's been fun making these videos. I just make it for the love of the game, so to speak. I like talking about books, reading books, and talking about life, things of that nature. So if that interests you, be sure to stick around. But I hope you all have a great week of reading. I hope you're reading a great book, and we'll talk soon. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out, guys.